Welcome to my 2021 in the bag. I'm here at Masters Cup and I'm showing you what I'm throwing. We'll start off with my putting putters. I throw the KC Glow plastic, they're KC Glow, and then this other one's just normal KC. It's got one of my local tournament stamps on it, but I just love the feel of the beaded putter and the stiff plastic, so I've been putting with the KC Pro AVR for a long time and hopefully for a long time in the future. I would describe it as kind of like a pitch. It's not like a normal, it's not a spin putt, and it's not really like a normal push putt. It's kind of in the middle. I mean, I guess it's probably more of a push putt since it's more of a pendulum up and down, but I do get a lot of spin from popping the fingers and opening my hand at the end. So it's like a push putt with a good amount of spin to keep it flat. Typically, I feel like I'm a pretty decent putter. I feel like I make a good portion of my Circle 1 putts and then a good handful of Circle 2 putts as well. I bag 2 approach discs. One is the DX AVR X3. I've beat this one up quite a bit so I can throw it with a little bit of hyzer. It'll pop up and turn at the end, but very versatile, good for forehand and backhand. And then I bag a zipper top Rhino. This is the first year this one's been in the bag. I used to bag a clear one, but it finally beat into being a little too straight. So this is my overstable approach disc. Since I was an intermediate or advanced, it just happened to be one of those discs that got in my hands and I really enjoyed throwing it. I think it's a comfort thing. I've thrown it for so long. I'm very comfortable with releasing it in all kinds of angles, and I feel really confident approaching greens with it. I really enjoy to be outdoors, so I try to find myself hiking. A lot of times that also involves looking for some rocks, or I also have a couple inflatable kayaks in the car, so I like to bust those out when possible. So pretty much you'll catch me outside and hopefully on the water or on the hiking trails. I carry 4 mid-ranges in the bag, 3 rocks and 1 Cayman. The most understable rock I have is a DX rock. This is also from a local club stamp. I think it's a chin rock, but it's just flat DX rock that's understable. I can throw it in hyzer, it'll pop up and turn. One of my main workhorses, especially out here this week, is a Champion Rock 3. Very neutral. I can get it to hyzer and turn, so it's working well out here at De La. Finally, I got an overstable Luster Rock 3. This is just when it gets a little windier. Not using it too much out here this week, but good for a lot of other places where I just need a straight shot with some finish. And then for all my overstable mid-range needs, I bag a Cayman. I like the Cayman over the Gator. It's a little less overstable, a little more workable, and I feel like it has a cleaner release. So I really enjoy the Cayman forehand and backhand. I think my spirit animal, probably some kind of bird, maybe like a crane, maybe like a sandhill crane. I don't know, I think they're cool. I bag 4 fairway drivers, 3 eagles and 1 T-bird. The T-bird is the most understable fairway I bag. I've had this in the bag since I think 2012 AM Worlds is when I put it in the bag. Back then it was overstable, but now I can throw it on hyzers and it'll pop up and turn. So it's a pretty versatile get out of trouble disc, or if I need a big turnover, I reach for that T-bird. Then I bag 3 different stability eagles. They basically vary from being overstable to straight to understable. They're my go-to fairway, one of my favorite discs in my bag. I like them for forehand approaches if I need straight forehand approaches, or pretty much any backhand tee shot, you know, within 430-ish feet. So I reach the eagle quite a bit, and it's one of the most reliable discs I throw. Carry 2 overstable utility discs, the most overstable of the 2 being the Star Firebird. This one's pretty flat. I like the flat utility disc. It's good for kind of doing flexing forehands or just really overstable backhands. Typically, I like Champion plastic for all my fairway drivers or utility drivers. The Firebird is kind of I wouldn't even call it an exception. A lot of times I do bag a Champion Firebird. It's just I have a handful of this run of Firebird that is in Star Plastic that's flat and stiff, so it feels like a lot of the overstable Champ Firebirds. It just happens to be in Star Plastic. So a little different than most people, but it does the same job. I complement it with a Quantum Draco by Millennium. It's similar in flight when new, but probably not quite as overstable. So I use this when I need to push an extra 35 feet on the Firebird. So it still has a pretty dependable finish, just pushes a little bit farther than the Firebird. I would say if I had to pick a food that I would eat the rest of my life, I would choose, it's very, very dependent on my mood. I don't know. I mean, right now I could do with a nice piece of salmon, but I don't think that would be my favorite food. I think I would probably choose something more finger foody like pizza or a burger, but it's not really what I want right now. I like everything pizza, so just like whatever the Supreme, so it's got a bunch of veggies and meat on it. I'm not really that picky when it comes to food, so put it in front of me, I'll probably eat it. Finally, I carry 6 Star Destroyers. 4 of them are Halo plastic. 1 is my last year's swirly star, and then this other one's just a normal star one. This purple one is super understable. It's not used very often. I can throw rollers with it. Really hyzer flip forehands and the occasional big turnover, but it's pretty finicky, so I don't really pull it out too often. It's more of like a get out of trouble disc. This guy is kind of like my go-to bomber disc. If we're at a more open course, I can get a lot of air under it. I can throw it with this guy with hyzer. It'll pop up, turn, and fade. And then finally I got the 4 Halo Destroyers. I have 2 from the early release. They've beat in to be my main workhorse destroyers. They're straight with some fade. And so I pull these out quite often. And then I have 2 of this year's Tour Series release, my Calvin Heimburg Tour Series Star Destroyers. They're more overstable than the black ones I have in the bag. It's pretty similar to how the black ones started, but I just haven't beat them in quite enough to where they go straight. They're all pretty overstable, have really dependable fade. You can turn them pretty hard and they'll come out at the end. So very reliable disc and used when we get out on the windy golf courses. This year, my Tour Series disc is the Halo Star Destroyer. They're very stiff, which I really like, stiff and domey. So they have some glide, but they have a very dependable, overstable finish. So it's pretty much how I would draw up my ideal destroyer. This year, we stuck with the space theme that I had last year. I've always just kind of liked space, and we stuck with a pretty similar theme, got some random little biker dudes, biker astronauts in there as well, which are only in there because I saw a picture on Pinterest that I thought was funny. So, but overall, I like the space theme, and I think we did a good job, with it. I'm really happy with how they turned out this year. Thanks to all the fans out there for supporting me on tour by purchasing one of my Tour Series Halo Destroyers. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's just like it's an upside down turbo. You just put it on a little bit more angle and you just kind of spin it off your pointer finger. And that's how you make buckets, But yeah, it's not really that useful of a shot unless you have like a tall bush right in front of you and you need to get up and over it and down really quick. But it's a fun shot that, I don't know, sometimes you get bored while practice putting and you figure out, that's like my horse shot. That's what's in my bag. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.